And just as a reminder, the content shared here is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not intended as medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always consult your health care provider before making any changes to your health routine. Our discussions draw on wellness concepts similar to those found in the HealthPointe methodology, which we hold in high regard. The ideas presented are independently developed and do not represent or speak on behalf of the HealthPointe brand.
Well, good evening, everybody. And first of all, Happy New Year and welcome to our final Lean Team for year 2025. For those of you that might not have been on before, my name is Carol Zampa, and I usually facilitate these. And we're excited tonight to be wrapping up the end of the year with you. And oh my goodness, it's been an amazing year. I hope you're all enjoying festivities with your family and the holidays, however you choose to celebrate, and just having some great family time and safe travel. And hopefully, all of you that might be in some inclement weather, we hope it passes by real soon so you can continue to enjoy. But this is, again, as I said, amazing year of transformation. We've seen so many people that have had such great successes through the Health Point program. So tonight we thought it would be fun to kind of focus on some of those successes. We call them scalable and non-scalable, or NSV. Those are non-scalable victories. So a scalable would be something that you could see on your scale, literally see on your scale. But non-scalable might be measurements, inches lost. Sometimes we overlook that, and that's equally important as the weight loss. And a lot of it is health. Sometimes it's psychological, sometimes it's energy levels, sometimes it's preparations before surgeries. And you'll probably hear a lot of different victories, because tonight what we've done is a few of the folks, about 7 folks, have raised their hand that they will be willing to share some of their victories this year. Some of them are relatively new in the program. Some of them have been on the program throughout the year, but they've all got great stories, and we're really looking forward to hearing them, because as you're listening to these stories, you might be thinking of somebody that could really benefit by something that had happened to one of the people that are sharing tonight. So, as we know, HealthPoint isn't just about weight loss. It's a healthy living program where you create healthy habits to give you longevity and give you health span, not just lifespan. Helps you set goals, helps you have a better self-image, and just flat out feel better. So we're going to hear about some of this stuff tonight. So, oh, by the way, before I forget, because I might forget at the end, what we're working to do, and we haven't got it in place yet, but we're working to have a Facebook page put together just for before and after pictures, so that as you're talking to people about the health program, rather than always having to boast about yourself, or think you're the only one that ever lost weight on the program or transformed, you can send them to this Facebook page and they can see all different types of people from different backgrounds that have had successes. So we will be putting that together. And all that being said, I would really encourage every one of you that have been on the program, if you would send a great before picture, one that is just one that you just don't really want to share, but you will share. And then a present after picture. It might not be that you're completely finished. It might be that you're halfway through the program, but your picture at this point in time. And then we'll get this stuff put together. So with that, as I mentioned, we have a group of volunteers tonight. And I asked each one of them to take a minute or two and just talk a little bit about some of the successes and testimonials that they've had. So what we'll do is at the very end, after the last one has spoke, what we'll do is unmute, and hopefully a lot of you got your cameras on. I can't see right now, and give them a great big, loud, wonderful cheer for the job well done during the year. So with that, we're going to start out with Larry Fitzpatrick. Larry, are you on? Larry Fitzpatrick? Okay, well, let's shelf Larry and we'll move on to the second person, and that's Josh Ford. Josh, crickets. Are you on, Josh?
There you go. Can you
Uh,
hear me now?
yeah, I can. Hi, Josh. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. How are you?
Very good, very good. Looking forward to hearing from you.
Yeah. So I'll just do a quick share and then turn it back to you. So I'm kind of embarrassed to share this, but I have a compelling testimony about Neutralite and HealthPointe. Basically, how it took me from being in the ICU to now being able to work out in the gym with a personal trainer. And so I'm Josh Ford from Hurst, Texas. And in the past 5 years, I've been a patient at the Mayo Clinic in Minnesota, a patient at UT Southwestern in Dallas, and another hospital in Dallas. And then, like I was saying, in 2023, I spent 2.5 months in ICU, intensive care. It was not fun. And this was kind of my personal wake up call. A lot of it was from a weight problem that I had. And what I developed was type 2 diabetes and heart problems. A lot of other things, but those were the two driving forces that put me in the hospital. Um, since then, I've lost over 50 pounds, and then Neutralite has had a positive impact on my labs that the doctors have been able to pick up in the numbers and then also in the blood work. I've also lost 15 pounds on HealthPointe. And the one thing I learned along the way is this community is so valuable, just from a standpoint of learning. There was a book that I wanted to kind of call your attention to, and I think you were kind of highlighting some of the principles in this book called Outlive. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, uh, it was really a great book. Um, that was a doctor that had heart problems and then also diabetes. And so that really resonated with me. But anyway, really excited about the program. Glad to be here. Glad I got a chance to share. Just wanted to say that Jesus saved me in the hospital. My doctors deserve a lot of credit. And then also my upline too, kind of watching my Health Point journal and stuff. I know that if I put pizza on there, I get a call from Jerry. So anyway, thank you for letting me share.
Thank you, Josh. That's great. And wow, I see you to, um, I wrote this down, but I can't read it now. Anyway, fabulous, fabulous. And Neutralite Labs and lost the 50 pounds. I love that. That's great because you have incorporated blood work numbers, health numbers, and that's super. Thank you so much for sharing with us, Josh. Okay, so we're going to move on now to Laurel Jones. Laurel, are you there?
I am here.
Hi, Laurel. How are you?
Hi there. I closed the windows behind me so that we don't have to look at the snowy blizzard.
You are in the thick of it, I know.
Yeah.
So, Laurel,
Well,
yeah, tell us about some of your successes.
gosh, it seems like I've talked about them before, but not everybody probably has heard them. But I started last January, January 12th, when we kicked off our first cycle. And I've been just keep repeating the cycles all along the way. And so far, I've lost 71 pounds and 48 inches. And my husband says he's been looking all over the house and can't find any of them. So I told him to stop looking. I think probably, when I think of those are the measurable wins, but I was trying to think, gosh, there's so many things that have happened along the way. I was on one medication, which was blood pressure medicine, and I got off of that pretty quickly. My labs are all great. I just had them done recently, and that all looks really, really good. My resting heart rate is now lower than Al's, which is a big deal because he's always had a really low resting heart rate. And so then a couple other things I thought of. One was I don't have any cravings anymore. That just occurred to me today. I used to like stand in the kitchen and open the refrigerator and look what appealed to me, and or I'd be doing something and I had to have something to eat that was obviously not a good thing. And So all of a sudden I realized I don't do that anymore. And I hadn't thought about that. So that's a non-scalable win. I think energy. I just mentioned that to you, Carol, the other day, is that everybody always says they get so much energy from this. And it took a long time for me to have that because I had some other things I think going on, or I don't know. But all of a sudden, in the last couple weeks, it seems like, even if I sit down and try to take a nap, I don't fall asleep, and I used to you just put me in a chair and eh, have it quiet for a couple seconds and I'd be wanting to fall asleep. So a lot of energy. We had the grandkids over here yesterday for our family Christmas, and I outlasted them. Everybody left, and Al and I went out at about 10:30 at night and took down all our outdoor Christmas decorations. So we're ready to go to Florida at the end of the week. So energy is a big part of it. And like I said, that took a long time for me to develop that. But probably two of the most fun ones I think were I've been overweight for decades. Let's just put it that way. So I have decades worth of clothes that one day I'm going to fit into, by season. Some of the women maybe could identify. I don't know. Yeah, I see some heads nodding. Okay. So I just had boxes of them and they were labeled what season, how much I had to wait, I think, to fit in them. Well, all of that's gone. I literally have no extra clothes in the house. And if I do, they're too big. So I'm traveling light to Florida and I'm going to have you take me shopping, Carol. So that'll be good. Um, so that's kind of cool because I don't remember a time in my life when I didn't have stored clothes that I was going to fit into someday. So I ordered some clothes a while back, a couple weeks ago, and they came and they were too big. And I went, oh, I just didn't realize what size I wear. I don't even know anymore. So, of course, neither do the companies that make them. And I guess the last thing was it's really been nice, the community and the connections. I see on here a lot of faces that I hear their voices every week or I see their faces, and it's been nice to have. I mean, there are people, some of the people I already knew and others that I didn't. And that's just the community and the connection has been nice. And I know I have one neighbor who decided to start up too, and she's really enjoying the connections, and it's fun to see someone else enjoy that as well. So those are my non-scalables, I guess. So I'll turn it back
That's
to you.
great. That's great, Laurel, and you look marvelous. You just really, really look good. And I think you hit the nail on the head with the community. I would say for all of you, if there's one thing that you really, really, really want to understand is when you bring a person into this program, it is a community. And you want to start right at the get-go explaining the value of that because if they don't wrap into the community, they might even lose the weight and then be gone and then later put it back on because they don't have that community. So I think it's really important. That was a good point, is to make sure that they get involved with the community. I know Laurel's gone across the street with her neighbor to make sure she got in the community. Now she gets on her own. So very valuable point. So thank you, Laurel. And we're going to move on. And the next person we've got is Jim Wilmess. Jim, are you there?
I'm here, Carol. Thanks for having me tonight. I'd like to say that the non scalable wins for me is I've gone from a 42 waist to roughly 36 to a 34. So the clothes have changed. I've gotten rid of like 5 bags of clothes that I used to have. So used to wear a 2X shirt. I'm now down to between a large and a medium, and they're comfortable. It's not like I'm squeezing into them. The other thing is my current weight right now is 189.8 actually. So down, still a little bit more to go, but that's where I'm at. One of the other things that is non-scalable is out of all the medications that I'm currently on, we actually reduced one with the hopes of I have a physician visit with my cardiologist, and we're actually he's playing with the idea of releasing one that theoretically I was going to be on the rest of my life. And I attribute muscle multiplier to that. That's kind of like what I've been taking a lot of the muscle multiplier, and I think it's helped along with the was it mono orange with the waist and everything. And I know Sharon has talked about that product as well as on the muscle multiplier, and I can't speak more highly of those two products. The other thing, and probably the biggest, is my A1C in January was 9.9. My last blood work more recently within October was 6.6. So that's probably one of the most non-scalable wins that I could have. My goal is to definitely get it down to 5. That's where it needs to be. So working on that. The other thing is we talk about the environment, the community. I'm grateful for the coaches that I have, which is Dan Silber and Lynn DeVest is kind of like coaching 1, 2. So I've got the 2 coaches, and then the community, the Saturday walk and talks, as well as the new ones that we've been going to, which is the Monday. I go to the Monday at 6 a.m. But having that community and listening to other people who are either experiencing issues and staying on the HealthPointe program. So I can't strongly say if you're not included into that, you ought to listen to some of those and work with those, and especially the Saturday morning. I've been fortunate to listen to the last couple because of schedule change, so it's really enjoyable to be on the Saturday morning walk and talk. That's pretty much it.
That's great. Thank you so much. And there's a great numbers. So give me would you mind sharing what the total weight loss you've had since you've been on the program? You mentioned you
Um,
got down 100.
yeah, to 189. So started the program is around 250. So
So
roughly
60.
60 pounds.
Yeah, beautiful. Congratulations to you, Jim. That is wonderful. And the inches is one thing, but the A1C and the blood work, that's a whole different ballgame. So congratulations to you and thank you for joining us tonight. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to move on. And next we have Julie Roll. Julie, are you there? Are you there, Julie? Okay, you need to unmute. All right, we might have some folks that are having internet problems with the weather. Okay, we're going to go back to Larry and Julie and see if we can pick them up after, because we really want to hear from them.
Here,
But next,
here.
oh, there you
Hey,
are.
it's Julie. Hey, I did not, I'm not showing my picture. I'm actually at the hospital on call. So,
Okay.
that's the great life of being in healthcare right now. But anyway, I've been a part of the HealthPointe program since I think the beginning of time. But I have had, my big wins is that consistently I have kept off about 43 to 45 pounds and dropped actually another 5-6 pounds in the past couple of months. It's huge to be able to keep that amount of weight off for I don't know, it's probably been 20 years and it's probably been a little bit longer than that. But I think one of the biggest non-scale, and I am older. I am on one med, and that's simply because I had a hemorrhagic stroke and I can't go off of it. And I'm on the minimal amount that I can be on because that's all I'm taking. But I'm on no other medications at all. I have more energy than any of my 20-something-year-old colleagues. I am up at between 4:30 and 5 every morning. I'm on call tonight. I probably won't hit, I don't know. Hopefully I'll be in bed by 11. We'll see. But, my day begins again tomorrow. And to have that kind of energy and stamina, and I don't get naps. No, that doesn't quite work. And I feel amazing. And I laughed today because, sometimes people think if you're in good shape, they think you're lucky. It's not lucky. It's the commitment that you make to changing your lifestyle. And, it doesn't mean you're perfect. I mean, I had some of the best cookies I wanted to have. And I had a lot of them, I will say, over the holidays. But you know what? I am a big believer in get on that scale every day, see how much you weigh, because that really keeps me accountable to myself. I think the greatest thing about the HealthPointe program now is before we had the connections of the community, I felt a little isolated and a little alone, like, oh, I didn't do it perfectly, so that's shame on me, right? Like I'm not doing it right. I don't feel that way anymore, and I hope no one feels that way, because you just fall off, and guess what? Tomorrow's a new day. You just start over. It's all good. So those are my big wins, and I am about lab values, but I also have perfect lab values. I I think because of the supplements that we take, um, I have major exposure to a lot of illnesses at this time of year, and I don't get sick. So I think that those are huge wins, and I attribute that all to HealthPointe. Thanks.
Thank you so much, and thank you for taking time out when you're at the hospital, Julie. And I think a couple of things here that really stood out to me was to keep 43 to 45 pounds off for 20 years is amazing, because there's millions of people out there that have lost and put on, lost and put on. And to be able to say you've kept that off and that amount of weight too for 20 years, and then continuing to now to lose some more is great. And the other point that you hit on that I really want to emphasize to people is, especially if you're clients in the thick of it, is that we're not looking for perfection. And you know what, especially during the holidays, we've all had, our extra stuff that we maybe don't normally have. And but we're looking for progress. We're not looking for perfection. This is not a program about perfection. And if you fall off the wagon, please do not go into the woodwork. Do not hide from your coach. Do not hide from your community. This is the time when you need to be on the audios, in the community functions, the events, the walk and talks, because this is when you need your community more than ever, because you need strength. So thank you, Julie, for sharing those points. And we are going to move on. And the next one we have is Dave Munoz. Are you there, Dave?
Good morning or good evening, Carol. How are you? Yes, I'm here.
Great. Good to hear from you.
Thank you. You too. Well, I will just talk about my current non-scalable victory, which is actually pretty important to me. Believe it or not, in 2024, we're basically a year span there. I was in the hospital 9 times and going through a whole bunch of different procedures. And in this 2025 at the beginning, I had what I thought was going to be my final operation to get everything taken care of done. And then I come to find out that I have a complication that I'm going to need another surgery. So then I said, okay, I looked at my wife and I go, hey, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I said, I got to get this done. I want to get healthy. I want to be there for everybody, especially for myself. So I asked her to get me healthy. So, and I just met up with my specialist and he goes, well, it looks like all your blood works come back, great. They gave me 3 different types of blood works. I needed to lose weight in order for it to be a quicker recovery and for the procedure to be better. So my wife helped me lose 60 pounds. And then I said, okay. And he goes, so I think instead of doing the procedure or operation here in Ann Arbor, I can move you to our satellite office and we can do it there. And he says, and we'll do it in January. So I got moved up 6 months. So I was told by him that I'm perfectly healthy, except for the issue I'm having. And I look forward to getting that taken care of so I can have a quicker recovery. The community's great. I mean, in here, I love all the Saturday walk and talks and the educational stuff that they have online. The books, the audios are just awesome. But, I have to attribute my big success to my coach. And it was kind of hard sometimes, but here's another non-scalable victory. We were at the Red Wings game yesterday, and my wife is known as the step queen, and I was able to keep up with her. In fact, I think I beat her up the parking lot stairs trying to get up the stairs. So I don't know if that's not scalable or not, but I can keep up with her finally.
That's a huge victory right there. And the other huge victory is that you let your wife coach you. Do you know how few people, although there are a number of people on the call that are doing it as husband and wife. And I would say if you have a spouse that is willing to do it with you, or in one case, the husband doesn't necessarily, he's pretty healthy anyway, but he's been a tremendous support and coach to his wife, who's been very successful. So I think if you're married, please, spouse, whether you need to lose weight or not, whether you need to do anything with your healthy habits, make sure that you are really supporting your spouse. And for a man to be able to, I think after 31 years of marriage, allow their wife to help them lose 60 pounds says something huge for you about your manhood. So congratulations to you. And we wish you a lot of success on this final surgery that you are having 6 months early. And congratulations on all your successes, Dave. And thanks for sharing with us tonight.
Thank you.
So we're going to move on, and we have Linda Fates. And Linda, are you on?
Yes, I am.
Hi, Linda.
Hi. Okay. I'm going to read mine because otherwise I'll talk too long. But I've always been interested in health since my first grade health class, and I read about the squirrel who ate candy bars and all of his fur fell out. Then he switched to eating nuts and his fur grew back. I was always about 4 to 6 pounds overweight, but in my 40s, I noticed that my weight was climbing, and no matter what I did, nothing seemed to work permanently. I even tried the carrot juice and grapefruit diets. I was so desperate. Then Nancy Morton unveiled HealthPointe. I was sold, and as soon as Network 21 rolled out the program, I bought the kit. And in the first year, I took off 80 pounds, and I've kept that off. At the time, I just thought I was getting to a goal weight to be healthy, look good, etc. I had no idea how important my health would be down the road. About 13 and a half years ago, I found myself helping to take care of a lady at church with Alzheimer's. At the same time, my husband, Larry, was diagnosed with MCI, mild cognitive impairment. Then I found myself taking care of Larry's sister on weekends to help out her daughters. She also had Alzheimer's. Then my mom moved in with us, and she had already been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. This is when the stress level really went up. It's always harder on the caregiver. Then my husband was diagnosed with sundowner syndrome. I thought at the time that this was just a visual thing that affected his eyesight. Little did I know that it actually affects your behavior as well. I was ever so grateful for HealthPointe that had taught me how to stay healthy, and for Nutrilite to add supplements like vitamin B that gives you a boost of energy, then calms your nerves. Double X, omega 3s, and the entire line that gave me the energy and clarity to keep going during this time. At one point, we had to barricade my mom in her room at night for her safety and my sanity by literally putting padlocks on our refrigerator and freezer and taking all of the non perishable food upstairs to hide them from my mother. That's another story for another time, but it did bring on a lot more stress. Part of me keeping sane was sticking close to the Network 21 family. We didn't have the HealthPointe classes yet, but I stayed in touch with Sharon Webb every week. I listened to 5 to 7 audios daily, and I read out of a Network 21 book every day. And I have never, ever had to be on any kind of medication. For that, I am very grateful. Fast forward to March of this year when my husband was let go from his work as he could no longer perform his duties. He would go and post his driver's license and social security card online, asking if someone could help him find a job. More stress for us. We finally had to disable his phone. On October 2nd, he was rushed by ambulance to the hospital, and from there they determined that it was no longer safe for him to come home, so he went straight into a memory care facility. This is when his sundowners really started to display itself. The violence he has shown has been shocking to everyone. But again, I'm grateful for my HealthPointe community as you help to keep me grounded. My advice to anyone on this call is to follow the HealthPointe program correctly, stay close to your coach, attend the Monday and Thursday classes at our Saturday walk and talks and the Network 21 walk and talks. Also be sure to take some quiet time to clear your mind. For me, that's when I read my Bible and pray every morning. A big thank you to Carol, Sharon Webb, and Eric Rishi for all of the help in keeping our community together. Guard your health and your sanity. You never know when you're really going to need it. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Wow, what a story. And what came out was 80 pounds you lost and you kept it off. But boy, aren't you glad you did, because all of the different areas that you had to reach out and help other people and have your mind off yourself and on others, sometimes that stress can really be a perpetrator of weight gain. But because of what you learned in the Health Point, you were able to conquer all of that. So congratulations to you. Congratulations to all of you that shared tonight. And Laurie, we'll pick you up at the next time because we just ran out of time. I'm not sure exactly what happened. He might have had internet problems. But if everybody would unmute, put your cameras on, I'm going to invite my husband in. Let's give a big hoot and holler for all the people that shared tonight, and also a happy New Year, since Wednesday will be New Year's. Here's my husband.
Yay.
Happy New Year,
Happy New
everybody.
Year!
Happy
Happy
New
New
Year.
Love
Year.
you.
Beautiful.
Job.
Woo.
Bye.
Great job,
Bye.
Love you
everyone.
guys. See you next
Bye.
year.
Bye.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Your stuff.
Happy New Year. Happy New
Happy
Year,
New Year.
everyone. Happy Health Year.
Happy healthier. Love it.